studio in Newport Beach, California. Welcome to another edition of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sometimes scattered, but always edgy. We're an authentic take on sports talk. Rated R. Chab Dog brings you Eric, the well-read, Frank, the tank, Brian from Sports Rock, and special guests. We're here to talk sports. We're here to rant and vent. We're here to take it up another notch. Now here's your host, Chab Dog.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. This is the Better Get Smart show, and we'll be featuring some clips from Get Smart, late 1960s, mid into late 1960s when that aired, and talking sports today. This is brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's business and transactional and estate planning needs. And also by Chab Dog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines and biting sports commentary. And you can find that at chabdog.com. I'm here in the Newport Beach studios with my co-host Eric Sove. How are you doing, Eric?
Hey, Chab Dog.
Yes, we're just plodding our way through February and trying to
get smarter,
get over those that Super Bowl letdown that inevitably happens.
Yeah, still not ready to talk about it, by the way.
I know. I didn't say we had to talk about
Thank you.
But I just thought I'd mention it.
No, that's already too much.
And I could have made your life really miserable by forwarding you some videos that have been sent to me by some very insensitive people. Like
fuck you, asshole.
The streaker. Did you remember the streaker in the game?
Yes. that was a highlight of the game.
He sent me a video of that. Tarek. Do you ever go to Sports Rock? Do you ever look at Sports Rock?
I've been cutting down my Facebook, but
that's Brian's site.
If I were to do more Facebook, I would do lots of sports talk or sports rock because that's Brian's site.
Yeah, and he has some. Just like you build one of these Facebook sites, and then you get contributors. If people start liking what they're reading and want to add to it, that's great. So.
Kulvinder, he's still bouncing around on that site. We got introduced to him, this cool guy.
I love him.
He's got some really good takes.
He's a big Steelers fan, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
And then there's Tarek Churi, who is also a huge Steelers fan.
Well, speaking of the Steelers, where's Ben Roethlisberger? There's talk that he's going to go to, all kinds of teams now.
There's some
Colts?
There's some loose talk out there.
There's loose talk, yeah. He might go play with the Colts.
The Colts already got somebody.
Oh, wait, the Colts
got
somebody.
Carson Wentz.
Oh, that's right. They did that big deal. So it wasn't the Colts, but there's talk that he's going to go somewhere.
I don't think that's happening.
It shouldn't happen, but hey, who knows?
But if it does, they better get somebody to play quarterback because they don't have a good backup. Like Mason Rudolph. Can you imagine that?
No.
I wouldn't want to watch those games.
No.
Mike
Tomlin's safe though. He's got that job for life.
He's like a combination of let me think. Josh Rosen and Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's too stiff.
Josh Rosen and Jarrett Stidham had a baby. Oh, jeez.
I think Josh Rosen's arm might be better, but he's slower. But Mason's slow as molasses. Just everything's slow, and when you don't react fast.
Molasses in Texas. Running in Texas. Hey, you used to live in Houston. Did you watch that in the news this week? What happened in Houston?
Oh, with the cold?
I mean, it happened the whole statewide, but in particular, yeah.
I have some.
Have you ever seen snow? Did you ever see snow in Houston when you lived
there? No, I don't remember ever seeing snow. But it can get cold. I know it snowed in Dallas. They have that legendary. There was that legendary Ice Bowl game.
Yeah, I remember ice being there, but I never remember seeing snow on the ground in Dallas before. Have you ever seen snow on the ground in Dallas? Like news reports and stuff?
I mean, I never saw it in Houston, but
no. Green Giant.
This was the worst cold spell they've had in 100 years. So this was quite a disaster. they're rolling blackouts, and people were in trouble. And I don't know if anybody died, but it was.
They're 30-something right now is the last tally I saw.
And then Ted Cruz decides to go to Cancun in the middle of this, which wasn't so
that was
smart.
just a bad photo op. Yeah, who can blame the guy wanting to get away?
Yeah,
kids and everything. They're out of school.
There's somebody should have been advising him so he didn't have to go through what he went through, all the mea culpas. But I guess he's back, and I guess they'll forgive him.
Well, I have no choice.
They have to, but so we have a new caller.
We have a new guest on the line. Let's welcome Abe Miranda from Los Angeles,
from the Valley. He's calling in from 818. Hi, Abe. How are you?
I'm doing great, actually. Yes, my 818 is from back in the day when I used to live in the Glendale area, and now I've moved up to Santa Clarita since 2010. So I'm actually in the 661 now, but I still carry the roots of my good old La Crescenta days and my 818 when I used to flash around my Nokia cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nokia.
I had Nokia. That was probably the best cell I had, was the Nokia out of all of them. I even liked it better than the Motorola Flip.
So now you're out here in Los Angeles.
Well, Santa Clarita.
Yeah. This but you spent time or grew up on the East Coast, right? And no Frank Fleming.
Well, actually, my father and Frank's dad, Gary, they were in the Air Force together back in the 70s, and they were actually part of the. They were on the same base back in Montana back in the day, and they became best friends. And they actually coached a little league team together. And so when my father got married and had me, well. Gary being Italian, being Catholic, being from Jersey, he accepted the role of being my godfather. And so that's when, Frankie came into my life back in the early 80s. And we, he came up, I got baptized, and, the whole Italian family thing. If you're going to have a godfather, it's like the best godfather you could have. Italian, Catholic, from Jersey, a Yankees fan. Like, what more could you ask for, And so, so Frank and I, we've grown up together. I'd come out in the summer, we'd play wiffle ball, all of that. And then as I got older, I'd go to, me and Frank would go to Shea Stadium. We'd go catch a Mets game in the summer, things like that. And we would go every year. We went to the All-Star game together. So essentially, I had the privilege of really having the private shows with Frank the Tank, like all the things he does now, he did back then, except it was for a party of one, at least when we went,
Yeah, well,
that's what we know. We met Frank in 2016. I was just saying to Ida that I think it was June or early July 2016 was the first time we had him on the show.
Yeah, through a friend of mine, a mutual friend who knew about him.
Mutual friends, and we just fell in love with him right from the get-go. And then he'd sing, and he has a storehouse of knowledge.
You got any clips from him? You have anything that proves he was on this show?
Obviously,
we have various sound bites, but I don't know if we have anything quickly accessible. But we must.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys do.
Tank on being a Mets fan.
I mean, Frank.
It's embarrassing. Being a Mets fan today is more embarrassing than it was yesterday, and it'll probably be more embarrassing tomorrow.
Yes.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's Frank.
Well, yeah, you listen to any of these shows, you'll hear. He
really does want to be Bobby Bonilla. He's got his money now, and Mickey will probably say, "I like the spirit." Dom Smith. There's another one. This is a 5-tool player. The Mets called him a 5-tool player. When the Mets say 5-tool player, he's gonna suck. You screwed up. Admit it. Result not bad itself, but this manager is killing me. He says before the game, we're happy with how we're playing. You were shut out twice over the weekend. The last 18 innings coming into today,
got a few
they didn't
questions
score
for him,
a
all right?
single run.
Okay. Anyway, so we got lots of Tank.
How many nicknames does he really
yeah.
have? We know there's Frank the Tank, Frankie Midnight. What we call him, Frank the Mush.
When did we ever call him
the Mush?
The Mush?
Don't we call him the Mush?
I don't remember that.
It's the guy in the Bronx tale that was always getting the games wrong. It was always the bad luck.
Oh, yeah, the Mush. Okay. Yeah, he knows. He's good one to fade.
Yeah, he's got a few nicknames, and
You have any new ones for us, Abe?
yeah,
Any new names?
you can be frank with us about Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Good one. You know what? I just normally just call him Frank. You know, I mean, I think a lot of he's always been kind of Frank the Tank growing up. I think that's something that kind of carried with him from K through 12. But yeah, you know, all the other ones, you know, Frankie Midnight and stuff like that. I mean, they all came out of Barstool. You know, that was post Grant. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, you know, to me, you know, I know Frank from like I see Frank playing wiffle ball, you know, and you know, we just go back and
you guys.
He's just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Abe, you're a remarkable photographer. And I know that because I've seen, I think one of the first times I was introduced to you, your work was on Twitter or Facebook. It was that picture of Tank in the Secaucus station. Those black and whites you shot?
Yeah.
Do you and do you do some other, like, are you, I mean, to me, you're a very skilled photographer. Do you know that?
Are you a professional? Just asking.
And do you, and do you do some other work?
No, actually, I don't. And I actually do all of my photography when I fly out to Jersey and I hang out with Tank. It's actually when I do a lot of my photography. But you know, I've always liked taking photos, and I always you know, like to take that perfect shot. So. Mm-hmm. And I like to find them, and so, you know, I just like to do it for fun. Maybe a lot of it came from a lot of traveling that I've done. Mm-hmm. You know, I like to travel the world. It's one of my hobbies. I like to visit family and friends and stuff like that back in the day. And so I like to take a lot of photos and post a lot of things on Facebook. But, yeah, thank you very much. Some of my shots come out, you know, I mean, if I actually had a really nice camera, you know, which I have, you know, and actually shared some of those photos, I'm sure it'd come out better. But a lot of the photos we do for social media, you know, are things that you take on an iPhone. But thank you very much for the compliment.
Yeah, quite talented.
Appreciate it.
And who taught you how to sing?
Probably Tank.
Well, you know, actually, singing is not even my forte, of course. I mean, if anything, I'm better playing the drums than the singing.
What's your day job?
Well, I'm you know, I like to tell people that I'm one of the things that is unique about me and Frank is how opposite me and Frank are. You know, Frank's not a big transit guy, yet I work in transit. I'm actually one of the safety managers for the rail system here in LA.
Oh, cool. So
while Frank's riding the train, you know, I'm working with the train. So that's one of the things that's unique. You know, he's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. You know, he does his sports thing, and then I do more of a regular 9-to-5 job. And you know, he raw dogs. I like to put toppings on my hot dogs, you know. So
yeah, I like sauerkraut and mustard.
Yeah, I'm a sauerkraut kind of guy. Sauerkraut and mustard.
Kraut and mustard.
On
a there you go. Yeah,
a hot dog.
That's a good one.
On a hot dog that snaps when you bite into it.
He's got
you're making me jealous because there's not a lot of places in LA where you can find them so much on the East Coast. Here, how it is here. There's a few spots.
You can go to Pink's.
Yeah, but that's about it.
I don't know where that is, but it's somewhere buried
in. It's on Fairfax.
It's on Fairfax.
Yeah. Yeah, they're closed right now.
Pink's
Sunset.
There's a place called Cupid's that has a snappy hot dog, and then we even have down in Buena Park, we have a place called Portillo's, which is the same as in Chicago, and that's where you could find Chicago style hot dogs in Buena Park, which is near Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, but it's a Chicago style chain, and they happen to have one in Buena Park. So.
Yeah, you're a big Disney fan too. I saw a clip. Well, I saw two clips of you recently. One was you're showing your great tone range and you're singing,
dancing there, doing something.
Well, no, he was singing Queen there, doing a Night of the Opera for Gavin Newsom's missing missing his money.
Anybody?
That was hilarious.
I love some of
well, that's good. Well,
and then there was you dancing in a tutu in front of Disney on the steps of Disneyland.
Yeah, that was it. That's what we were watching.
With your Disney hat on.
yeah, doing the Fantasmic show in front of Disneyland, or if we shut down Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my wife and I, we like to go to. We've always been a fan of going to Disneyland or Disney World or. We've gone on a few Disney cruises, and she's really into Disney, and so sometimes it was just Valentine's Day, and we were helping my mom move, so I decided to make it up to her. So we went down to downtown Disney, and you make a reservation, you can have lunch down there, and we walked through the California Adventure is partially open here, so you can go in. At least go into some of the stores. None of the rides are open, but you can go in there and do that. So, we do like to go, and it's always a nice thing. We're trying to support them. We know they've been closed for almost a year. It's been a tough year. Have
you been to Florida?
It feels like we've been on lockdown since March, really.
Yeah, it's been almost a full year here. Now, over the last 12 months, have you been to Florida, Abe?
No, matter of fact, I was supposed to go to Florida in March. We were going to go down for spring break to Disney World last year.
Okay.
And we had our tickets and everything ready to go, and then that's when, the pandemic came out, and they said, they started shutting down all the parks, and then we had to spend literally 2 days canceling all of our reservations because it was everybody was trying to cancel their reservations all at the same time. So it was a pretty lengthy process.
Yeah,
to get a hold of Disney.
I really can't stand all this cancel culture.
Well, that's a different take on cancel culture.
I know.
That's not quite what they mean.
I know, it's a play on words.
Yeah.
Anyway, cancel culture is
that's the
here.
joke.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Well,
but I've been to Tennessee. I've been to Missouri. I've been to Oklahoma. I've been to Texas. I've been to Arizona. New Mexico. So I've been to places since the pandemic. But Florida, we were, I was hoping to go with Frank for spring training this year. And he said maybe next year. We were close though. We were close to kind of surprising everybody, and we were going to go down to St. Lucie for spring training.
I wonder if he's going to do that. Because Tank's with Barstool now, so maybe a smart move would be for them to send him on some kind of tour of the spring training facilities, and he can do a traveling vlog or something with that.
Oh, he could do that easy. He could do that with his eyes closed.
I mean,
he'd be great for that.
It's just, and if you could go with him on that, I'm sure that would be a great time.
Well, if you could get the time off of work to do a tag along. We're so proud of Tank. I mean, it's just, I can't tell you how happy we are watching his success, and that Barstool, finally made a space for him. And just because he was doing this. Well, like he's been into sports all of his life, and he's been wanting to do this all of his life. And the job at the courthouse was just to bide his time until his opportunity came, but it finally did. But he didn't have to. He was ready. Like he didn't have to make.
Who knows where that will lead? That could lead.
Oh, he's going to own Barstool one day.
He's going to break Barstool.
He's going to break it.
He took off to the moon. Since he went full time. I mean, Frank was always a presence there, but when he went full time, it was like it was like the turbo finally engaged, and I mean, he got to do some things that really propelled him into the stars. And I think the last Rough and Rowdy really was a testament to how he's just beginning, and look how big he already is, and he's flying around in a private jet.
Yeah.
To go to a Rough and Rowdy event, or to go to a
call that a
Super
jumbo
Bowl
jet
event. Like, wow. I mean, I always knew, and I had always told Frank, before Barstool, I told Frank, I said, Frank, you've got something here that is unique and it's special, and I always told them, the moment somebody can give you just 1 second of their time to allow you to shine, I know that you're going to bust through that door.
Exactly.
And that's just how we always, at least for me, I always knew that you just need somebody to give them a little crack. And they'll see his potential. They'll see what you see and what we see and I see, and we'd be like, hey, he's just naturally gifted, and really the way that he just comes up with this stuff on the fly, it's pretty incredible. And you have to have a lot of talent to do that, and so I admire him for that, because I know I ain't as good as him, and there's not a lot of people that are on his level, and so I just sit there and just be in awe all the time.
He's spontaneous.
But it's nice,
he's honest. Like how can you not adore the guy? Because he's just so blatantly honest. He steps on his scale and shows the world what the number comes to, and that's these days it's coming in great. But he was doing that when it was 420 something.
Well, I don't even know what the number is now, but
he's like 94.
It's under 400.
Oh yeah.
It's under 400, and last time I checked, he was like in the 380s.
380s, yeah, it's coming down.
All right, well, that's great.
He'll be on it again today. I mean, he's public about these things.
Yeah.
Let me see what I got here. I think
we got a bunch of clips from him, things we did with him.
Not that one.
You should listen to the archives. To some of the shows, you'll hear some creative things we did with him and his rants, and
we used to have we had him on for a while, and then it was maybe 6 weeks later we had this guy from Boston come on. There's Boston Mark, and you ever heard Boston Mark and Tank going at it?
I'm trying to think that there's been a couple times where I've been on, with Frank when he's done this show.
Okay.
Because I would come on a Sunday or I'd leave on a Monday, and so Sunday mornings I think he would get with you guys.
Yeah, that's
and he would do this show, and they would get into these heated arguments, right?
Yeah,
that's the guy.
He'd get into these monster arguments. He'd get into terrible arguments with Mark, who was a huge Red Sox, Celtics, Patriots fan.
Oh, it is. He just hates anybody from New York. Typical Boston.
Of course, Frank and him were like oil and water. They had some legendary fracases, and we used to have. Well, we do have a bunch of stuff there, but it's hard to know which one to play for them.
I'll look for something. But the two of them, they were legendary. The meltdowns that they would.
We did some pretty funny stuff with that. So I encourage you to go to Spreaker.com where all the shows are.
You can just go to Chabdog.
Or Chabdog.com.
The shows are there too.
And it's all there. So what are your sports? You like the Yankees? Is that right?
Oh, he's a Mets fan.
Oh, Mets. The Mets. Not the Yankees?
No, I'm actually, Yeah, I'm a Mets fan. Frank's dad happens to be a Yankees fan.
Yeah, you were talking about. Yeah.
Frank's dad's a Yankees fan. No, I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Packers fan.
Yeah, how did the Packers come about?
Fan.
How did you become a Packers
What's
fan?
that?
How did you become a Packers fan?
Well, how did I become a Packers fan? Well, that's an interesting story. I used to actually be a LA Rams fan, and that was before they moved to St. Louis.
Yeah, I was going to say the Anaheim days, Anaheim Rams.
Yeah, you remember the original days, right? And then the Rams were there. Well, the original days were actually in St. Louis because they came from St. Louis.
Way back.
I was a Rams fan originally, and then they moved, and then of course the Raiders moved, and so we were kind of LA. We really didn't have a team, and so I talked to Frank. I said, Frank, I'm kind of abandoned here, and I said maybe I should adopt a team, and so I just went with the original team that won all the very first Super Bowls as a default. So I just became a Packers fan simply because it was a small city type of football team. It was like an original classic team. It had a very unique history as being a packing company, which I'm into transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that fit with my, a little bit of what I do. And then I actually ended up having some friends who moved up to Green Bay, which I plan on visiting and going out to Lambeau. But I had adopted a team after the Rams left L.A.
Oh,
and then when they came back, I just stayed a Packers fan.
Oh,
okay, that's pretty cool. And then you're also the Grizz, like the Memphis Grizzly, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a weird thing, but I went to my mom lived in Kentucky for about 18 years. She just recently moved back to California. I don't know why. I know it's a pretty crazy move to move from Kentucky to California, but she just did, and so I would have an opportunity to go to Tennessee a lot. And so on one of my trips, we went to Memphis, and I got to see, I got to visit the FedEx Forum. I got to go inside their old arena, which was the Pyramid Arena there, which is now a big Bass Pro Shop and a hotel.
Okay.
And, it's actually a pretty cool, it's like their stadium is right on Beale Street. It's like you walk out of their stadium and you're like on the Strip. It's like having an NBA arena right in the middle of Vegas Strip. It's
nice.
just
that's great.
The location is great. The party scene is great.
Yeah. If you're into,
yeah.
If you're into those kind of stadiums, you should check Fenway Park out. It's in a great part of Boston.
No bragging, Chab Dog. Yeah.
It is. It's a wonderful placement of a stadium. Right in the. Okay.
Yeah, Kauffman Stadium.
I would love to.
Kauffman Stadium. I'm not talking about football. I'm just talking about baseball. But
love to go.
Kauffman. Oh, that's right. Why is that better? That's like in the middle off the highway somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are so jaded. I mean, I'm talking about a stadium that's built into the fabric of like the downtown.
Yeah, except I'm a Yankees fan too, and I hate Boston.
You know what the Memphis says? I know. Do you know what it's called? What they call their place where they play?
Abe does.
Yeah. Do you know, Abe?
You mean like the FedEx Forum?
No. What's the name of the stadium? What do they call it? It's called the Grindhouse.
The Grindhouse?
Yeah.
In Memphis?
Yeah. Google it.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Well, you want to play them?
Oh, yeah. So I did find, here's a promo I did for the show a few years back that featured Mark and
it's got some
and Frank
good
going off
banter.
on each other. Let's see if we'll play without giving us a commercial here. We don't sound like ESPN.
Yeah, you did a good job with us. Real good job.
Schilling, the former baseball all-star, fired by ESPN.
Hold on a second. Which one of the 51 kinds of transsexuals did you say it was?
We don't meet the standards set by the FCC.
Like girl.
Get out of here, you weirdo.
Yeah, she's from the Apple
Sucking
commercial.
on toes.
Our content might offend some listeners,
One hotel room was for him
That's
to
Mark.
go in and take a dump in the bathtub.
while others
Yeah, that's
may
Mark.
become downright enraged.
So you shut up! Your life! You never shut up!
Oh, he was so good at getting
That's
under
a
Tank's
classic,
skin.
classic.
Yeah. We are the Chab Dog Sports Talk radio show.
Isn't that an oxymoron, a gay tight end?
We are listener-produced
Who else
live
can we
radio.
offend here?
Suave? God damn, you're one suave fucker.
We are the audience,
Thought we were talking sports here.
Stan.
Yes,
and
we
the
got Uncle
audience
Stan back.
Yeah,
is
I gotta
listening.
get him back.
Anyway, there's that
Oh,
little
the pleasure seekers.
self promotion there. Pleasure seekers. So let's talk some Mets here, Abe. So it's been quite an off season. You got a new owner, Mr. Cohen, but it seems to be the same old problems.
Well, we want.
I just think like anything else, we do have to be cheering that we do have a new majority owner. So, at least we're out of the old car. We've traded in the old car for a new car. Now, not to say that the new car is going to be an amazing car, but, like anything else, it's the first season. They need to give the team a chance. We need to give the new ownership a chance just to see what can happen. I mean, the pitching is still pretty good. I mean, we still have a few of the, old guard there. And it's just, I think they're going to do a little bit better this year than they did last year. I'm definitely a lot more positive than Frank when it comes to the Mets, but, it could be a much better start, but it's a start. And, we also got Luis Rojas as the manager. So we're going to see where we go this year.
Wasn't that funny about Mickey Callaway? Turned out to be really creepy. Like he got fired by Anaheim here recently. Did you see the story there, Abe?
Well, what did he do? Yeah,
Oh, geez.
I don't know anything about this.
Oh, you don't?
No,
Okay. You know the story, right, Abe?
I don't
About
follow
Mickey?
Mickey Callaway though.
Well, he has had interesting. He has had some interesting career. It's amazing how he went downhill after the Mets. I mean, he was already going downhill in the Mets,
Yeah.
but wow. He essentially Mickey came out to Anaheim, and he got into there were some allegations against him about kind of like sexual harassment allegations towards a few women.
Yeah.
Right.
He was harassing a reporter that he was coming on to her, and he was, exposing himself and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah, Mickey Callaway.
So he got fired?
Yeah.
So he got immediately fired?
But he must have been doing that in New York. What? He wasn't doing this in New York? They didn't know about
Never heard anything about this.
it? Well, yeah, because no one ever talks about this kind of stuff.
What do you mean? It's
swept under the
always,
rug.
it's not swept under the rug. Anytime
Well,
anybody
it
does
wasn't.
anything, you get nailed. I mean,
Well, eventually it comes out.
I mean,
yes.
I don't
It
know.
wasn't the Mickey Mouse.
I'm surprised that I never heard it before, but I guess it,
Well, he's unemployed now.
he's in.
Yeah, he is now.
And it couldn't happen to a better guy, too. I mean, he was such a useless manager for the Mets. Oh, my goodness. And, I thought Tank's, melting down on him was justified, wholly justified, because the guy just didn't seem, oh, well, we lost again, but we lost good because the other team was better than us. It's like, fuck you, Mickey. Didn't that just make your blood boil?
Nick, it just, you just be surprised what people will end up doing, and then at the same time you're kind of throwing away your career because these are, especially when you're in like that status where anything you do is under the microscope.
Yeah.
It's a tough. That's something. That's just a. Something got lost there because most people they watch themselves and especially when you're a celebrity. It's one of the tough things is you got to keep yourself out of the spotlight in the wrong way.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mario Cuomo. I mean, he had, whether you like the guy or not, he generally had done right actions and right things until this nursing home disaster in New York, and then denying that he did it, and then going after Representative Kim and threatening him and his career personally.
I don't understand all
witnesses. This. It's like he must know these things aren't good for his career.
This is the kind of thing that people got mad at Trump about.
Yeah.
Kind of reacting in a hostile way when people are just trying to get to the bottom of what happened. And
yeah.
He's kind of acting like he's trying to keep. Yeah, he wants us to keep things under wraps, and there's no way.
So it's just like Mickey Callaway, you can't keep that stuff under wraps.
Yeah. So, do you follow? Do you follow basketball? Do you like the Nets? Does that go with the territory? If you like the Mets, do you like the Nets?
Well, I matter of fact, when the Nets were playing against the Lakers in the finals, I used to call Frank and give him a hard time every time the Lakers would like dunk on them.
Well, it was a long time ago.
I was kind of the opposite. Yeah. I was kind of the opposite of being a Nets fan back then. It's because, especially since Frank was a huge Nets fan. He's always been a big Nets fan, and back then I actually was more for the Lakers, especially in the 2000s. And so when they were playing against the Nets, I used to give Frank a hard time about it. But I have gone to Brooklyn Nets Stadium in Brooklyn. I had an opportunity to go there with my cousins, and it's a really nice stadium. It is really cool. It's like walking into the Death Star there. Just a really cool, black seats, really elegant stadium. It's also in a hipster part of town, and so the experience of going to a Brooklyn Nets game is pretty cool. It is a lot of fun going there, and the stadium is really nice.
Huh. Yeah. They've got some players this year, so some people think they might actually get to the finals. And they're in the East, so they don't have as hard of a road.
They play basketball, right?
I know this is not your favorite subject, but
I'm warming up to it.
We're getting into basketball, pro basketball season now, and college basketball starting. So we're gonna definitely be talking NCAA tournament.
I love tournament. I love college basketball.
The other
and I can tolerate NBA. Yeah, the whole Black Lives Matter thing threw me off there last year when they put it on the court and the no names on the jerseys and stuff like that. How did that rub you the right way, or where do you stand on the NBA and their Black Lives Matter behavior over the last year, Abe?
Well, for me, I think that anytime you try to mix sports and politics or entertainment and politics, you're always going to rub somebody the wrong way. I just think that sometimes I look at sports, if you're a professional sports player and you go in, you're getting paid to be in a game or play for a team. It's like when I go to work, whatever my political, whatever I feel is my political leaning, when I go to work, I just take off that hat and I put on my work hat. And when I'm done with work, I take off that hat and put on my other hat. So, it's the same thing. You're representing the team, and it's really comes down to ownership and management. If that's something they want to do, then great. If it's something they don't want to do, then that's something that I think that we have to respect their wishes and go along with the program. But sports and entertainment is a tough place to go political, unless your platform is political, like Rush Limbaugh or something like that.
Yeah.
Where that is your platform. That is your political platform. So the thing is I just watch the game for the game. I don't really get involved in too much of the politics. I know some of the players were taking knees, even in baseball. I believe there were some, right? In baseball, right?
Yeah, there were, and I also want to point out to our audience here that you're a veteran, U.S. Marine Corps, Semper Fi, and thank you for your service to our country, Abe.
Yeah,
and so you can speak. You can speak with I ask you personally as a serviceman, how do you feel about people kneeling in front of the flag and kneeling for the anthem?
This is it's a very difficult subject to breach because when I was in the Marine Corps, at sunset when that flag came down, it didn't matter what you were doing. You were going to be at full attention, and you were going to salute that flag. It didn't matter if you were Mexican, if you were white, if you were black, if you were Muslim, if you were Catholic, if you were Republican, or if you were a Democrat. When that flag came down, you stood at attention and you saluted that flag until it came down. And until the Star Spangled Banner stopped playing, and that is why I value, and this is why I value my experience in the military, because I got to put that politics away, whatever was going on in the country, and you salute that flag. At the very core of everything. We live in the United States. Now, you can like that, you can hate that, but we are Americans, and of course we have to respect our flag. It's crazy that in 2021 we're even discussing, the basic 101 of respecting your country's flag, but. Other countries don't do that, because they actually respect their flag, and that's where we're at. We need to respect our flag. We need to, we need to be patriots. We still all need to come together and be Americans, and that's very important part of tradition. These are things that when we grew up as kids. I'm sure when we went to games, people weren't kneeling on the court. People weren't kneeling in the field. These things were kind of unheard of. And so I grew up in that with you guys too, and Frank, and we all grew up in a sports world that was not that was different than what it is today. And it's not. It's not something that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, I can tell you're pretty torn by this because on the other side, it's our whole gig as America. Hey, we're all about freedom, and we're about giving people, even who have jackass opinions, the ability to express them. Hey, you can be wrong. I mean, hey, it's great. You have the freedom to be wrong. You have the freedom to hold a stupid, dickish, asshole opinion too in this country, and that's the greatest value. I just don't like it, but it's. But I'll accept it, I'm willing to give my life for the freedom for someone to be, whatever they want.
But there's limits to everything.
Well, there's good taste. Yeah, this is just not in good taste, and I appreciate those that kneel, and I appreciate that there are disparities between people in this country, and particularly with Black Americans, and I'm down with that.
I just don't feel that's. And I appreciate. Well, if you're not going to do it now, if you're not going to do it at the anthem when everyone's looking at you, when are you going to do it? Well, I don't. I say just pick a better time. That's all I'm saying. Is just pick a better time. We can have greater equality. We can raise our consciousness without painting it on basketball courts and without shoving it down people's throats. I just think there's a better approach to it. But I also appreciate. I don't want to silence those voices either, because it's important. We need to have this conversation. We need to have more of these conversations about how we can get along better as Americans. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But Chabdog, you're against all that.
Against, well, I'm against the ultra politicization of our sporting events, and
yeah.
So that has to always, I think, be kept in mind.
Well, the NFL got the message. They started with everything in week 1, and then mysteriously it all disappeared in week 2, and then by week 3 it was gone. There was nothing. You could see there were names in the back of helmets, and that was it. And there was and even the sportscasters weren't making any references to anything at all. So the NFL just very quietly disappeared from all this after week 1.
Yeah, I don't remember even much about week 1 either, but
yeah, I was tracking it. They can't fool me. I saw what they did there.
Yeah, they got to be very careful, because that's such a media thing, and they don't want to blow their product up by doing alienating people.
No,
their marches. I mean, when I look at and we think about kneeling. They've been kneeling for a few years now. It wasn't a 2020 thing.
No.
And when I look at what got more traction, I mean, I think the actual marches from all the folks that came out, the non-celebrity folks, but all the marches seem to have a greater impact in renaming Aunt Jemima and all these other brands and things about being more conscious about these racial issues. And so again, you can have the message and just based on observation, the things that took place in 2020, which was not just celebrities or sports, but it seemed to get the most traction. So there is an avenue to raise these issues that I believe are more effective than just when it's just celebrities or sports figures.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we should play him a clip. We play clips.
Yeah, we love to play clips.
And we don't have anything for trains on hand. I know that he's a big train guy.
Oh yes, yeah.
I wish we had that Pelham 1-2-3 clip. It's about a subway. You ever see that movie?
Oh, you must favorite movie, right?
And you know what? I like the one with I like Volcano better. The one where there's a volcano in LA, and it engulfs the subway.
Oh yeah, I never saw that.
You've never seen that movie?
Yeah.
There's a movie called Volcano with
Volcano. Okay.
What's his name?
Pierce
Tommy
Brosnan.
Lee Jones.
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's a good actor.
With Tommy Lee Jones.
What about Battlefield LA? Do you ever see Battlefield LA?
No, I haven't seen Battlefield.
It was a bad
LA.
movie. Yeah, it was a really bad movie. It's where the aliens attack LA, and a unit. I think it's a unit of Marines actually has to save the day.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. But yeah.
Well, you could play
Yeah,
him.
no, I've also got the. Wasn't it also in what was that movie? It was another disaster movie. Well, there's always all these disaster movies in LA. There's like Earthquake. We had Earthquake in LA.
Don't have any earthquake clips.
We had Sharknado version of LA, I believe.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think there's a Sharknado.
You can play them. Did you play the Brett Favre?
Sharknado New York version
do that one.
too.
We got Brett Favre here. Since you're a Packers fan, you probably
we'll play the Brett Favre clip.
Yeah, play the Brett Favre.
If you can find it.
It's coming. Here it is. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me roll it here. Bang.
Touchdown!
Hi, Mary.
Brett?
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here?
I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass. Yeah, I called him, Mary. I told him to pick up Warren and get down here. See, your friend Tucker was lying about a couple of other things. Brett never said those bad things about Warren. He loves Warren. And from what he told me on the phone just now, he loves you too. He's the guy you should be with.
Oh, God.
That's right, Mary. Do not always be true to you.
Shit, this isn't fair.
You know, I feel like an idiot.
He might send some offensive.
See, I realized something today. I'm no better than any of these guys. I mean, none of them love you, really. They're just fixated on you because of how you make them feel about themselves. I mean, that's not real love. That's I don't know what that is.
Wait, Mary, don't listen to him. This is just another one of his stupid little ploys.
You know, Strowman, you are so full of shit.
Yeah, you're the biggest stalker of
You're
us all,
stand
man.
here and tell me that you're not nuts about this girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Oh.
Hey, good luck, Brett.
Yeah, thank you.
She's a great gal. Take care of her. I'll see you, Mary.
Hey, Ted.
Hey, Warren. See you later.
Okay, goodbye, Ted. Goodbye.
I thought you did a good job of playing that character.
No, yeah, I think
God,
it was
Mary,
better
I
than
missed you.
Hey, Brett, what are the chances I could get you to give me a little autograph on this pump here, huh? Something nice.
All right, the great Brett Favre.
Yes.
Yeah, what's happening
Sounds
with
like
Rogers?
my dad talking to me about the girlfriends back in high school.
Oh, yeah.
It's not real love, you know.
Yeah, what's happening with your quarterback? Is he gonna stick around?
I don't know. You know, I don't know. You know, Aaron's getting up there, and he might surprise us. But I think he got one more season left in him. You know, I think he got close, and maybe this might be it for him. Maybe
Just
if
one
he doesn't
more
pull the
season.
trigger for it, but I think maybe one more season.
Maybe he wants to try
I mean,
a different.
look at Tom Brady. He's defying all the odds, So,
Yeah,
maybe the older guys are motivated by Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers. When did he come out? I was like 2009,
7,
2007. No, I mean come become an NFL quarterback. I thought it was. I'm trying to figure out how old he is.
Because then Favre went to the Jets.
I think he's
Favre
only
went to
about
Minnesota.
34.
Oh yeah, no, he's still got some mileage.
35.
He's still got some ways to go.
I think he's got 3 years left, at least 4.
More than Roethlisberger does.
It's a question of where he wants to go. So,
but he never really came out,
that is not something I was referring to. And
do you have any clues to
he
what
doesn't have
Rogers'
to-
sexual preferences are, Abe?
It's like,
Well, he's really with he has a lot of hot girlfriends.
He does.
He's got some interesting girlfriends, and I
So would Rock Hudson.
just because
I
a
think
guy's
the lady
single
guy,
doesn't
that's-
mean that people make these ridiculous claims because somebody isn't married, and that's supposed to be some kind of indicator of their sexual preference.
No. Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, it's like
I know.
Rock Hudson
I
hung
know
out with a lot
that's
of really
been
good-looking girls.
bandied
too.
about by various people on this show and elsewhere.
Yeah, trombone.
Well, if they're not married, I don't. You know what? Here's my thing. If I was single, they could call me gay all they want. You know what I mean? You're not married. Wow.
How did you get
were-
through life? and
Somehow
not
avoided
married?
it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's that's a bad thing. I mean, I love my wife a lot. Don't get me wrong, but my God,
Oh, I know. You weren't saying
there's a
anything
lot
like
of
that.
fish out
Yes.
in the sea, and especially your Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, I don't know if I would want to settle down if I was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And again, it's not the not being married thing. It's just been bandied about again. And not there's anything wrong with that. To quote a Seinfeld episode, it's perfectly fine anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's like Tiger Woods, you know. I mean, he was better off living a single life than a married life. Look how
way better,
great
yeah.
that turned out.
Yeah, poor guy.
You
I wonder
know,
if he
so
got he got treatment for that sex addiction. He's all cured now, isn't he?
We never talk about golf. Are they going to play golf again? I guess they will.
I thought they're playing golf, aren't they?
We just forgot about it, but.
Oh, what about tennis? What's the update on
and
the
then,
Australian
speaking
Open?
of forgotten sports, I do follow tennis a lot, and we do have the winner now for the Australian Open, which is the first major tennis tournament of the year, and that was won by the favorite Novak Djokovic. That was no surprise to anybody, and he was dominant last night. They had the final last night at 12:30.
Oh, why?
On the TV. So
you stayed up and watched it, right?
I watched the first set, and then I couldn't take it anymore. I had to go to sleep. But it was good tennis.
That's what she said.
Very good tennis.
That's what your wife said, right?
Mm.
She couldn't take it anymore. Had to go to sleep.
Yeah. So.
So who won?
So I guess you're not a big tennis fan, are you?
Well, Osaka won, the female.
Osaka won. Yeah, that was a lot of people wanted to see that. There's a lot of Osaka fans, even though she's from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got a huge following, and congratulations to her. She beat Jennifer Brady of the United States in a reasonably competitive match, straight set win.
Tom Brady's sister?
I don't think there's any relation, but I was
Tom Brady's daughter?
I was playing on that. I said,
Tom Brady's cousin?
Brady going to lose in February? Probably not.
Yeah, it's his son.
So we're almost at the end of the first hour. Do you want to play another clip?
Let's play from the '71 All-Star game.
Do you remember this? How old are you, by the way?
You Tank's age, right?
I'm 38.
Oh, 38, younger.
38.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
He wasn't even born when this was on.
Well, neither was Tank, but.
Yeah. Do you follow old baseball? Like, do you know who these announcers were?
Well, here, let's just play it.
Reggie Jackson, batting .272 for Oakland. 17 homers. He's bounced back this year. 41 runs batted in. A fine all-around player.
Skinny.
Yeah, skinny.
Good defensive outfielder, base runner, and thrower. And, of course, real power.
I love his uniforms. Those are good. Weren't those good uniforms?
Pretty cool, baby.
Was it? What month is it?
Aparicio on first, nobody out.
The All-Star game is July.
Yeah.
You know, Doc Ellis is wearing
a no-hitter at San Diego.
Why are they blowing on their?
June of 1970. He walked
was in
8
Detroit.
in that game, hit a batter.
That's all I can think
must
of.
have been a cold snap.
Pitched a no-hit, no-run game.
Cold snap in July.
Yeah, it never happened.
There's a long drive.
He's
That
going
one
yard.
is going way up. It is
Classic Kurt.
off the roof.
Kurt Gowdy.
That hit the transformer up there.
Yeah.
A tremendous smash. Only 8 players
I
have hit
probably
the
saw
ball
that.
over the roof there
Sort
in
of
Detroit.
embedded
Jackson
in my consciousness
nearly
when
did
I
it
was 6,
then out of the ballpark.
watching that. That's when
It's been
All-Star
done
games
13
are great.
times, Kurt. Norm Cash has done it the
Remember
most,
Norm
4
Cash?
times.
Never heard
Mantle
of
has
him.
done
Johnny
it 3.
Cash's
Willis
brother.
has done it.
He was a
But
big
that one was really a
slugger
smash.
for the
More
Tigers.
toward right center field.
You
Longest
know, I
ball
guess
ever
you're
to
not
be
a
hit out
huge
in that area
Tigers
was
fan,
estimated
right?
at 560
Never a
feet
Tigers fan.
by Norm Cash. What a smash.
Tony, remember the home run we saw him hit in Minnesota year before last? It measured 500 and some feet off the top of the scoreboard there in the Twin Stadium.
In his prime.
Yep.
Yeah.
He sure sounds like the granddaddy.
Frank knows. Frank likes Kurt Gowdy. Yeah.
But Doc Ellis, the pitcher there, that was the guy who pitched a game on LSD, right?
Yes, the pitcher that gave up that huge home run to Reggie Jackson in the All-Star game pitched a no-hitter a year before in San Diego under the influence of LSD.
Did you hear that story?
He was, or it was acid or something.
It was acid. Yeah, he dropped acid. He didn't think he was. He thought he was having an off day, and his girlfriend looks and says, "No, you're pitching today." She's like looking in the paper, saying, "Hey, gee, it's funny. You said you had the day off, but the paper here says you're starting."
So he shows up to the game high as a kite.
Well, yeah, he just dropped it, so it hadn't even taken effect. And by the time he shows up, he's like tripping.
He's kind of wild, but he's got his good stuff. So he pitched this game where he had something like 8 walks and 2 hit batters, but no, he allowed no runs, no hits.
Amazing.
And it was a legendary performance. And so this guy sang about it.
Well, I'll play that on the break.
Yeah,
we're running up towards the
so
break.
We're going to go to a break. We go to a break at 10.
At 10 o'clock.
We'll probably have another guest call in, but you're welcome to stay on if you want, Abe. And we've loved having you on.
Yeah. Can you stick around for a second hour?
Yeah, if you want. And you're welcome. We'll talk to you further. It's great to meet you. So we're going to our break.
Abe Miranda. Okay, well, stick around. We're going to head to the break here. And we'll pick everyone up right back here on the Chab Dogs.
Right.
Yeah, get yourself a second cup of coffee, and we'll be right back here on the Chab Dogs Sports Talk Radio Show.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chab Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
It was a lovely summer's morning, an off day in L.A. So thought one Doc Ellis, as he would later say. His girlfriend read the paper, she said, "Doc, this can't be right. Says here that you're pitching in San Diego tonight. We got to get you to the airport." So off Doc Ellis flew. His legs were a little bit wobbly, the rest of him was too. He took a taxi to the ballpark an hour before the game. Gave a half-assed explanation, found the locker with his name. The organ in the upper deck played all the schmaltzy hits. You could hear it in the clubhouse while Doc was getting dressed. His sunglasses he reached for from his locker in a case. Doc Ellis put his jersey on, then he put them on his face. The time came to go on out there, down the corridor. The walls were a little bit wavy, there were ripples in the floor. He went out to the bullpen to do a bunch of stretches, loosen up a little, throw some warm-up pitches. All rose for the national anthem. People took off their hats. Fireworks were exploding and the cokes were already going flat. Doc was back there in the dugout. So many things to watch. Some players spit tobacco juice and and others grabbed their crotch. Then the umpire hollered, play ball, so it came to be. Doc's Pirates batted first, and when they went down 1-2-3, Doc's catcher put his mask on and he handed Doc the ball, and there was 327 feet to the left and right field walls. So Doc's Pirates took the field then, and Doc stood on the rubber, and he bounced a couple of pitches, then he bounced a couple of others. You might say about that day he looked a little wild. The leadoff batter trembled, nobody knew why. Doc Ellis smiled. Well, you walk 8 and you hit a guy, ooh, the things that people shout. Especially the manager, but he did not take Doc out. Doc found himself a rhythm and a crazy little spin. Amazing things would happen when Doc Ellis zeroed in. Sometimes he saw the catcher, sometimes he did not. Sometimes he held a beach ball, other times it was a dot. Doc was tossing comets that were leaving trails of glitter. In the 7th inning stretch, he still had his no-hitter. So he turns to Cash, his buddy, says, I got a no-no going. Speaking the unspeakable, and he goes back out there throwing. Bottom of the 9th, he stood high upon the mound. 3 more outs to go, he'd have his name in Cooperstown. First up was Canizaro, he flied out to a loo. Then Kelly grounded out for Dean, and the shortstop yelled, that's a 2. Must have been a madhouse, fans upon their feet, littler ones among them standing on their seats. Well, that would have brought up Herbal with Spezio pinch hit. He took a 3rd strike looking, officially that was it. It was a lovely summer's morning, an off day in L.A. So thought one Doc Ellis, as he would later say.
Here.
I'm an actor.
Wow. Anything I've seen?
Oh, all sorts of movies with all-male casts.
I apologize if I am out of line here, but are you in gay porn?
Guilty as charged.
Is there softcore gay porn? Like just hugging and kissing and, telling each other how cool the other guy is? You're a rad dude. Thanks, you
Eric,
too.
you're
Let's
a really
play some
rad
ball.
dude.
You don't have rent. It's your month.
Why you always bending over backwards for that girl, knowing she ain't giving up no love?
We got a good thing going, man. Why complicate that with sex?
What the? What happened to the water?
They shut it off.
Help me get this out of my hair. Just use the water out of the toilet.
There's poo in there.
The back part of the toilet.
I don't think we're gonna keep a roof over our heads.
These are the exact circumstances people find themselves in right before they start having sex for money. What? You got an idea?
We could make a porno.
Not the idea I was looking for.
It's all mainstream now.
I don't really see myself being in one,
Look at Paris Hilton. She's selling fragrances to tweens, and I'm pretty sure she's legally retarded. The ones I liked when I was a kid, it was always a spoof of a popular movie.
I got it!
Star Wars.
What? Han Solo ain't never had no sex with Princess Leia in the Star Wars. I'm gonna just be honest, it's my first time. I'm not gonna touch you, nothing like that. I have a wife. We're happy. I mean, not happy, but it's cool. It's my job as the producer to see what you got. If that makes you uncomfortable, I love the movies. Does she have a talent?
It's a little something I picked up during bachelor parties.
Her name Bubbles.
Yeah.
You are my candy girl.
We're doing it.
What's happening?
Wait, are we doing it?
You've never thought about the repercussions of sleeping with a chick you've known your whole life? What are you, slow?
Yeah, but it's for getting rich. You just explain to your private beforehand. Look, this doesn't mean anything.
Do you talk to your...
Yeah.
I just can't believe.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm a delivery man, and I have some cream for you. This is the worst porno I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's a Harvey Weinstein film, so that's what
Oh, that was hard. Okay. Well, now the show is entering the second hour, and we've got a new guest on. Let's play the theme song for the...
Yes.
This is the Get Smart show, so we have to play this. We're going to all be a lot smarter after we hear from Brian.
And Brian from Sports Rock. He's arriving on the show. It's him walking into the building, going through the doors. Down the stairs. It's an elevator.
Is Don Adams still alive? Probably not. No? It's one of those situations where yes, Mel Brooks is still alive. Not a lot of people associated with TV shows in the mid-60s are still alive. All right, well, we're going to get a lot smarter now. We got two sports experts on the line. We got Brian Keller from Sports Rock, and I think that's Trey on the other line. You tell me who's on right now.
Yeah, you got Brian here, and
yeah,
yep, I'm on my shoe phone.
Your what?
Shoe phone.
I'm on my shoe phone.
Yeah.
Well, you sound pretty good.
And Trey, we have you on too?
Hey,
there we go.
Those probably work better than my phone. I'm here.
Excellent.
Oh man, we got a full house here, and we've got a new guest, Honest Abe Miranda from Los Angeles, or
Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita. Sorry, definitely different. So,
I got one quick question for you, Abe. Can you now you work in the industry in LA, but does that put you in a position where you can speak about how good or you can rate New Jersey Transit? Can you tell us, is New Jersey Transit as bad as Frank says?
You know what? Every time we have ridden New Jersey Transit to get to a game, we've been fortunate enough that we haven't gotten stuck on a train, or we got stuck in Secaucus for like hours and hours on end. I think that like any transit system, you're going to have your bad days and your good days. And I think because Frank is there a lot more often than me, then he's going to experience more of the bad days than I am. But when I've been there, we've had a good experience. Not very uneventful when we've gone. And, but I think that LA is really good. We really above the curve, actually below the curve. You want to talk about the curve, as far as our employees getting sick and things of that nature. I mean, it's we've really go above and beyond.
Abe, you are a real diplomat here. Yeah, so New Jersey Transit's good. And,
I don't think he wants to criticize
his
his employer while he's on the show.
No, but it doesn't sound like he needs to criticize. His employer is good. LA Transit's good.
No. I mean, I would not criticize them because they're really great.
Don't worry.
Anyway,
don't worry.
I think if there was something to be criticized, I would, but
yeah,
we're good.
Not according to Tank.
Okay. Well,
he says New Jersey Transit is the worst, but
yeah. Moving on from planes, trains, and automobiles. Brian, did you see any of the men's final last night? Did you stay up for that, or the women's final the night before?
No. I just caught the highlights here on the web.
Yeah. Well, I correctly predicted Medvedev would get to the finals, but I was not fulfilled in my wish to see somebody beat Djokovic. It was just impossible. He was on his game last night. I watched the first hour, and I could see that he was starting to really, by this middle of the second set, he was taking apart the Russian limb from limb. The guy was being dismembered with little cuts here and there, and so that's the way it goes. Novak wins another one, and nobody, I guess, on this call really cares too much about that, but
Hello.
Yeah, Stahl doesn't either. So
Good for him.
Speaking of sports, nobody cares about. Trey, you informed me that you you did a magic trick and turned something small into something large.
Oh boy.
But it wasn't.
I like these
what
stories.
What was the bet involving?
Well, I know you guys are here for the big soccer pick.
Yes.
Oh,
3-0 every time I'm on the show. So I have to give that out. I got to give the soccer pick out.
He showed me
France
the ticket.
League tonight, Paris, PSG versus Monaco over 3 goals. That's the pick.
Oh, so you're going over this time in soccer. That's really risky, isn't it? Anytime.
Yeah, but Monaco's a powerhouse. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. I don't. How do you decide? Like, you read some stuff in the news about who's playing, or how do you
handicap that?
How do you rest on that one? Like, where do you pick that one out of year?
You study the teams.
Okay.
The last 5 times they played, they've gone over 3 goals easily. Last 5 scores have been 3-2, 4-1, 3-3, 3-1, 4-0. So something like that. These 2 teams, the goalie sucks. It should be a high scoring game.
You know, I'm a good goalie.
PSG has been kicking butt.
Yeah, you're wide.
I play goalie in soccer, and I do a nice job. That's my favorite.
You're
position.
tall and you're wide.
Yeah, and I don't have to
block a
run.
lot of
I can
space.
just be like Flounder in the grocery store and catching everything.
That was pretty amazing for such a big guy too. Yeah, Flounder was good at that.
So
like the magic trick you were saying, it wasn't actually that much. This $15 parlay to win $300 off UFC 14 parlay with the underdog being the main event. The Black Beast Derek Lewis came through with a knockout in the second.
So there was some. This was this a mixture of soccer and UFC, or was this all fighting?
All fighting, all UFC yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, so he does
What,
that.
15 made you 300 straight up, or was that a parlay?
Parlay.
Yeah, because I mean that's a
for
yeah.
parlay.
Return.
He did that was like a 20 times return or something.
Yeah.
UFC is kind of interesting because it's like a gold mine for underdogs. I mean, but they have upsets all the time.
Sounds suspicious. Anytime you're doing fighting, and there's this, I have this fear that it's being fixed.
You don't have to fear it.
There's always
we know that.
Yeah, there's always the guys that get the big name, and they roll off, 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah, there's certain
whatever
sports
the case may be, and then all of a sudden, just some other guy comes and just only takes one good hit, one good kick.
Yeah, there's certain good sports that are conducive to people throwing things, and I think like basketball and tennis and boxing. I mean, baseball.
Oh, you mean throwing the game, not
Yeah.
throwing a ball at someone's face? Okay, yeah.
Where it's inherently suspect. Like tennis is classic. It doesn't take much if you're playing tennis to just turn down the intensity just a little bit, and you'll lose to an inferior player. And it's almost imperceptible. A lot of those one-on-one sports are like that.
How do you make money doing that?
Well, the fear is the player's taking money under the table for throwing the game.
And it's like a gambler. Someone pays them. Somebody's bet heavy.
Like there was a guy, Kafelnikov from Russia,
God bless you.
who won 2 majors. I think were rumors I thought about him throwing matches,
tanking like the Black Sox.
Yeah, but I don't think it was ever proven. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. I better check my records on that one. But there was a rumor. There have been rumors about the fix in tennis. So anyway, what do you want to talk about, Brian? Are you more interested in right now in basketball?
Just watching basketball and passing. Still kind of early. Not really anything exciting for me there.
Your life just drifting away from you? Can you sort of see it dissipating? No sports.
I'm like lost without football. It's like
I try to help you out. I try to make you laugh with some of that stuff. Those headlines. I really worked hard to do a hockey post a few nights ago that racked my brain, but I was able to get it done.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's hard getting into hockey right now, isn't it?
You know.
Yeah, hockey's another one. Like those baseball, for some reason, I can deal with the long season, but those other sports, it just doesn't get to me until it starts getting to that last month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's almost all-star season for the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting into the NBA. I'm watching it, and I'm enjoying lately. The Nets are looking good, aren't they, Trey? What do you think?
Why you gotta bring them up? That's irrelevant at this time. But okay, I guess.
What's relevant then? The Lakers' recent slump?
No, Monaco.
There you go, Monaco.
Soccer. Soccer. We're back to soccer.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I don't think I'm gonna stay
the Nets
away.
are they're 6-point underdogs today against the Clippers, which is weird for me. Yeah, that's
Oh, they're here.
Somebody must be injured.
The Nets are here in L.A., so that right there means that it's going to be not something the Clippers favor. The Clippers must have everybody back, right? Because they had Leonard was out. I think Patrick Beverly for a while. Those guys are back. I mean, the Clippers are pretty. Clippers, when you look at them, they're pretty loaded.
Yeah, they're pretty much.
Yeah,
there's a lot of expectations.
I know, but they got a lot of guys, so I think that'll be a good game. I hope that's on TV. I would see the Nets the Nets don't even have two of their top three players. I think Durant and the other guy, not Harden. Who's the other guy they had? Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, is he playing?
I'm trying to check that right now because 6 points seems a little disrespectful.
I think that's too much. I think that's going to be I think the Nets could win that game. I'd just probably go with them to win. Because they've beaten a lot of teams in the top teams lately.
Yeah, it's too bad gambling isn't legal in California yet. Well, you could put $5 on the game.
But I can talk about it though.
Oh yeah, we can talk about all we want, but talk's cheap.
Well, if you know the right people, maybe so you're not allowed to. Are you allowed to bet at all in California? Like, you can't.
Well, you have to go through an intermediary.
You have to go through the right intermediary.
That's right. You just need an intermediary. Okay. It's legal or not. That's how it's done. So. Until they do open it up, until we can use an app on our phone like Tank can do in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, I guess
you have
that's
words?
a pretty, a high visibility game. I can't think of too many other NBA games today that are on my mind.
It's back to the depression we were talking about. Yeah, this void in our life. Just waiting for baseball here to start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like how
Celtics and Pelicans are pretty solid. That should be a good game. Also, that's going to be on ABC.
Celtics and Pelicans.
Okay.
Is that what you said? Yeah, the Pelicans have a good offense. Actually, I watched them on TV a few nights ago. They have Zion, that guy from Duke. Zion, what's his last name?
Zion Williams.
Zion Williams.
Yeah, the young guy.
That's him.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot his name, but he's
you
dominating.
got the hard part right.
He's dominating, and
he's healthy.
Yeah, Zion Williamson.
Oh, Williamson.
Yes,
like Fred Williamson.
Not Williamson. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have sports cards are going for high money right now. You could get an autographed sports card, especially a rookie card of Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you looking at $500,000.
What?
One of these rare cards
already?
What, for a rookie card of his?
Oh man.
Yes.
Because he's not even.
There's already one that's been sold for over $1 million.
He's been in the league for
Second
2 years. Yeah. So why would those cards be so rare?
He's been getting a lot of praise, man. He's like everybody's been saying he's the next, Kobe, Jordan, even better.
Well, okay.
I don't know how these rookie cards are distributed out, and it would seem like there would be too many in circulation for the value of the card to go up that much right now.
This would be a good one to counterfeit. You have any legal advice for us?
We gotta have a card expert on to explain this. Unless you want to explain
the cards that are
Trey.
going for that much are the rare 1-for-1, like the one that sold for $1 million. It was a 1-for-1 card with the NBA logo patch and his signature.
Yeah, the supply has to be pretty limited for this to work.
Yeah,
it's like Bitcoin. I don't get it. Cryptocurrencies or cards. I don't get how these things have value.
Well, look it up right now. It's going up.
Well, yeah, because. I mean, guys, okay, we're getting played here by Elon Musk. So Elon Musk announces, I'm going to put, he doesn't say I bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin.
I thought
he just
Tesla
says,
did, though.
Well, he was vague about the actual language of it. So he says it, and then he starts to buy it. The price goes up. More people jump in. The price goes higher. I mean, of course, if he's going to dump 1.5 billion, the stuff's going to go up. Of course it is. You can't buy 1 billion of something and not move the price on it. So he moved the price on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, look, the price went up. Yeah, the price went up, bozo, because you just bought it. We think we were born yesterday. You're manipulating the market here. That's all we're seeing right now. He's manipulating the market.
As long as he keeps manipulating Dogecoin and mentioning Doge, I don't mind at all.
Well, Trey, sell it now at a high. This is your time to cash in.
If he farts Doge, it's going to go up.
Dogecoin.
Doge is gonna. It might get to $1 this year, and I keep advising people you better get on that boat.
Yeah, here's the other side of the coin.
The other side of the coin is the boat.
I got 3 million shares in it, and it's looking real nice right now.
See,
nice. Well,
this is an accumulator. This guy.
No, it's sell, get liquidity, cash out. Sell it and buy Apple shares. You'll probably do better.
Or take some of it off the table, so all you're dealing with is house money. But there's not a lot of on the. I think it sounds like it's almost all profit for this guy. He got in.
All profit.
He got in at a pretty good, sweet price.
Well, diversification is always good. Buy some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really give a lot of financial advice on this show because that's dangerous, and we don't purport to do that. But
we don't give enough financial advice.
But you can talk to people
gold,
about.
I can talk about gold because that's not real.
But I don't know. I know I've had those speeches given to me, and I don't know if I need another one.
Oh, but the Securities and Exchange Commission and such things, compliance departments.
Oh God.
Yeah, I've worked for some good ones in my day. Yeah.
Well, you want to hear some Gumby?
Yeah, let's go Gumby.
Yeah.
Character I'm seeing. What the hell do you mean I'm not a Christmas character? Look at me. I'm green. I'm green, and all the children love me. The kids love
That's
me.
what Novak
and I'm
was
a
wearing on the court
character.
for the finals. Was a green outfit. It's funny.
And Gumby, I just want to point out, you're not allowed.
Give me a match. I want to smoke this cigar.
Yeah, you're not allowed to smoke in here, Gumby.
Hey, don't tell me not to smoke headshot. I do what I want to do.
Headshot.
I am Gumby, damn it. I am Gumby. And I want to smoke a cigar. I smoke a cigar. So where's your? I smoke a cigar. What about your horse Pokey? You have the nerve to sit there and bring up the name of Pokey? He's in a glue factory for all I care. And heck, I don't believe this. I make my triumphant return, and you're talking about a can of dog food? How'd you even get this job? What, you win a radio contest or something?
I guess you're not enjoying the show then, huh?
No, that's not true. I did enjoy some of the show. I like that singer, what's her tush?
You mean Lizzo?
Yeah, that liberal. Ooh, huzza, hubba, bubba. I like her. She's a real beauty, and you know, colored girls don't usually do that for me. Gumby, that's extremely prejudiced. Hey, don't you try to make me out to be a racist, Che, you black bastard. I am Gumby. I am Gumby. I am Gumby.
Gumby, done.
So you gonna stay out here or what? Nah, I gotta get going. It's too late now. You could have used me. You wasted me. And I'm gonna go home. I'm an old man. I gotta get to bed because I gotta get up early and take my morning dump. Gumby, everybody. My morning dump, I take.
Yeah, keeps a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
In the morning, I take a dump. I'm staying here.
That was a little Gumby. Oh, that's a good clip too. That we can do that later, I guess.
Do that in a few minutes.
Yeah, Brian. So what do you spend your free time doing? I guess you spend a lot of time on Facebook doing your blog, right?
Yeah. That's
Sports Rock.
Definitely Sports Rock.
I love his birthday stuff.
And many other pages and groups.
Yes.
Kind of oversee as well.
I know.
Music.
It's a great job. I mean, it's a great thing to do with your spare time.
QAnon, is that one of your groups?
Don't have a Q on a group yet. I do have a political-oriented group, though. It's called Anarchy Rock.
Anarchy Rocks. There we go.
I don't want to hear about a lot of anarchists.
Well, no. Do you have a lot of people from the Portland area?
It's more like an open forum for an actual group where people can go ahead and give your political and or social and or even religious point of view.
It's a free for all. It sounds like it's the Wild West.
Yeah, it can be. It's calmed down a bit. But original concept was anarchy oriented, I guess. But with all the the things in the political spectrum now, it's just become a left-right jab.
Do you know who here's a question for you. Do you know who the most famous anarchist was in United States history?
No.
I'll give you a hint. He assassinated a president.
Well, that's
and,
I
and
know.
Do you know where it happened? In Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. And I know what president it was, but I can't. Oh, what's his name?
His first name was Leon.
I know, because it's like
his last name is impossible, though.
Yeah, that's why
it starts with a C. I can't even. I'd like somebody to help me out with the spelling, but it's a really tough one. Ends in a G, I think, and starts in a C. It's about 7 letters.
Yeah, it's got like 7 consonants in a row.
And he shot McKinley at the Buffalo Exposition, wasn't it? It was like the World's Fair or something.
It was a World's Fair going on.
1900, I think, or 1901.
Okay, what was his name?
Leon something, Salzog. And
you can't even pronounce it. So I thought, come on, you can't stall us here. Come on.
I can't spell it. It's ridiculous. It's like there's nobody in the world that can probably spell this without looking it up. And
how the hell are we talking about presidential assassins now?
You were talking about anarchists.
Anarchists. Oh, that's right. So do you play a lot of Sex Pistols on your anarchist rocks? You like Sex Pistol videos going there, Brian?
Sex Pistol gets Rage Against the Machine.
I don't know if I know any Sex Pistols.
Any Chumbawamba? Chumbawamba? Is that what are they called? Is that them?
Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba? Yeah, do you play them?
I haven't seen that posted on there.
They are about anarchists, you know.
Well, there's a lot of anarchy-type groups that are in that punk genre, and a lot of obscure bands make political and anti-government statements. Yeah.
So are you concerned about the FBI tracking your whereabouts and your dalliances on Facebook?
No. I'm not worried about anybody. I mean, and
so the FBI is regularly.
Facebook,
I mean, they
Facebook
can.
doesn't like it.
If
Facebook
did.
can just take it.
What?
Facebook can take it away if they don't like it. So.
It's public information.
It's public information,
and
but
to the extent you
if in the 1960s Facebook was the FBI was tracing Martin Luther King and keeping a list of people that were doing quote unquote un-American activities, you don't think they're doing it now? Oh. And in the digital world, they can have a file.
Oh, I'm sure they're doing it now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you post anything, it's out there for public consumption.
I'm sure Echelon is just cleaning all this stuff up and just keeping it in nice piles there if they ever need it. Why wouldn't they? If they're doing it before, they'll be doing it now.
It's probably done on based on a need to do basis. So I don't think everybody in the United States has a file like that.
You don't think they have some big computer?
A big computer.
Well, yeah, of course.
Spends all day doing
that. Yeah, but they already do have a big computer that has a file on all of us right now. It's called Social Security.
Yeah.
So let's see. They can add this little subgroup, another file over here for un-American
So
activity.
you're getting more paranoid than usual?
Yeah, there's no sports. I got nothing else to do, so your mind just starts to wander.
Right. You start
Abe, how do you handle this desert we're in now, Abe? This time of the year where we have nothing going on. What do you do for relief?
Well, interesting enough, I'm also taking some courses at Cal State Northridge.
Oh, no kidding.
So I'm actually spending time, doing my homework and reading about urban planning and all these other issues that relate to public sector management.
Urban planning.
You see a career in urban planning or a broader career in the public sector in your future?
Well, like I said, I currently work for the transit agency in LA, so I'm already in the public sector and I'm already a manager. So for me, this is just, I had only finished my associate's degree. So I'm simply just finishing up my BA and that, see what opportunities come afterwards. But, I'm already in the public sector, so it's a fitting degree for what I do.
No, it is, and you definitely want to get that. And are you also a CalPERS member?
That is correct. I'm also part of CalPERS.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely want to because it's
the mother.
The more education you have, you can be doing the same job, but they'll pay you more. Well, they'll pay you more because guess what? You're worth more too.
CalPERS is huge.
Oh yeah, it's a massive system. It's a great system. It's a generous. For the work that the people do to earn it, it's a generous system, but it's for people that work really hard. It's our public service employees here in California. They do work hard. You can be the butt of jokes sometimes, but it really isn't fair. The reality is that the people who serve this state actually work pretty damn hard under some pretty odd circumstances, too. As I'm sure Abe can attest to.
I never got paid to work for the government. But
yeah, we work. We really work. We really work hard.
So speaking of
Chogos,
Chogos
is how you pronounce the name.
Cholos?
Chogos.
Chogos. So there is a G in there. It's just not at the end.
That's an audio.
Well, in LA, we would say cholos.
Yeah, exactly.
Cholos.
Cholos.
The cholos did it.
Chico G's going to get a chola.
Now, Eric, you're getting bored and desperate, but Trey is not bored or desperate, right? Because you have soccer there.
He's got action.
You wake up and it's there. You go to sleep, it's there. There's always some way to.
Soccer's
turn a nice profit.
24/7, 365. It don't stop.
Wow. It's like there's a football game going on somewhere in the world all the time.
Yes,
isn't there? It spans the globe.
And you can get action on
and
it.
Plus, NBA is there. NBA, a lot of people bet on NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, oh man, I'm looking at some of these totals. It's just ridiculous how there's no defense anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Clippers,
the Brooklyn Clipper game is
Nets.
235.
How much is it?
235.
235.
Yeah, that sounds.
235.
Yeah.
To me, that sounds too low.
What?
Wait, 235?
Yeah, they should score 117.
I think that could be like
118 points.
Yeah,
each.
I think that could be like 125 to 120.
Yeah,
that game.
That sounds about right.
Don't you think? That's not so out of bounds. I mean, yeah, these teams don't play defense. Not great defense. The Nets have DeAndre Jordan, but besides that, they don't have anybody that's a stopper down low. And they love to shoot.
The highest total on the board is Kings in Milwaukee, 239.
239. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
that's. Is that in Sacramento?
No, in Milwaukee.
There's no fans anyway.
I don't like that. That's too high. I think
the Bucks are -10.
But you just can't. It's very basketball is tough, man. Do you do a little basketball?
Yeah, I do some basketball. And then Frank, he loves basketball. That's like his sport. So I tend to turn to him when it comes to the NBA and college.
Basketball's really tough though, because you can be blowing a team out, and then that lead will just shrink for no fault. And if you if you went with the favorite, you're just watching in horror, and it's just meaningless.
Well, you're sitting in a sports book in Vegas. At least you can keep drinking to.
In football, it's a little bit more reasonable. I feel like in basketball, because a shot is only worth 2 or 3 points, they know they can let a big lead just dwindle. And
well, that's where the fix is in. Yeah, that's why I watch those games and think, oh, these guys are throwing it.
So
Come on.
that's why I don't like betting on basketball unless it's an important game and the teams are, reasonably close to each other. Otherwise, you just feel like, what is the use of even thinking about this?
Alcohol. Yeah, you get drunk, you do all kinds of things.
The All-Star game total is the best to bet. But the books are kind of adjusting to it, but it seems to go over the total all the time now. It's always 300, 350, 400 points, but I bet it all the time. I always bet the over on the All-Star game, and it's Christmas come early. These guys just don't care anymore.
No, it's just here. You dunk it this time. Here, you dunk it. And nobody wants to get hurt, so nobody's sacrificing their body to take a charge or doing serious boxing.
Should they? Yeah, nor should they.
Right. It's just a show. It's showtime. So you have to expect a ton of points.
Yeah, it's San Diego State on a basketball court.
But then they do funky things with the game. Like it's not. There's something about the All-Star game that's special in terms of how they calculate the score, isn't there?
Yeah, well, the way they do those. Oh, gee, what's the name of that system? That Canadian Basketball League that we interviewed, the guy from that league, they did that same thing too. They had a special type of ending.
Yeah, which I don't even understand.
It was a point differential. Yeah, they take the point differential and then they say, okay, whoever gets this many points now in untimed play will win the game. So let's say, say one team's up by the other team over by, say, 15 at the end of the game. Then they go in to say, okay, now the margin's going to be 15, so first team to score 15 wins. Yeah, in untimed play.
Did anybody understand that? Because I don't understand.
Oh, well.
They did that last year.
I heard that.
They did it last year. Yeah.
I mean, I only understand it as something that could end the game sooner if it's a blowout, so you don't have to watch the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they take up the last 4 minutes. They take out the last 4 minutes and do this instead.
As long as it's not some kind of, it sounds like it's something reasonable to kind of truncate the game.
Yeah. So the team ahead still has that margin.
Yeah.
Well, that margin
the
becomes.
The team that's ahead by a lot can't lose if you do that.
Unless they don't score the next 12 points, they'll lose. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just you have to catch up right away. Or
whatever that margin is of victory.
Is
so if you're getting crushed, then okay, they just basically reset and say, okay, now you got to play to this win to this margin.
I feel better now that I understand that. What about you, Brian?
Oh, the All-Star. I don't care. It's cool, but it's just funny because when it became after the last decade or so was just this crazy back and forth shootout fest. And nobody really seemed to care so much about winning and just give the fans a lot of points.
Yeah, give them a show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's hope we have fans back. There were fans at the tennis match last night, which was nice to see in Australia. They let them back in.
It's like I could understand it, but it's like the old All-Star game in baseball. They used to actually play to win, and as Pete Rose proved, it's all out.
Yeah.
And Pete Rose bowled over that catcher.
Yeah, that was the Ray Fosse incident when he broke Ray Fosse's shoulder, right?
Yeah.
It's an Elam ending.
They're actually playing like it meant something.
Right.
Yeah, well, the MLB, it used to be the All-Star team that won. That side, that league got the home home advantage, right? But now they got rid of that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried that for a while to give it some incentive. Yeah.
And then there's a year they ended in a tie.
Why did they end it? What do they use now to determine the All-Star game?
Whoever has a better record.
I mean the World Series.
Is it a better record now?
It's just flat better record.
Used to be just a flip flop.
I like that, having the All-Star game mean something for some decent reason. Because the baseball All-Star game's a good game. Like it has the potential to be a good game.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't end in a tie.
Well, then you just end it with an inning or something. I mean,
but it did. That's why they got rid of it, because they ran out of pitchers and they weren't going to, stress the teams out any
no,
further.
but
that tie game.
Yeah,
that tie game.
You start a runner at third base or something with one out, and
well, they do that now, but they did that back then. That was sacrilege. They never did that back then.
I'm just talking about now, and because now I don't understand.
We do a lot of weird stuff now. I mean, you can have 62 game seasons now. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Well, they tested that concept last year about if it went past the ninth inning, you have a runner on second base.
Mm-hmm.
You start.
Oh yeah, they're talking about keeping that too. For some reason.
It's sacrilege.
And the seven inning double headers.
Yeah, I love that. 7 innings. You can't play 9 innings. It's asking too much. Okay.
Yeah, and you let the Houston Astros keep the World Series too.
Oh well, okay.
That was bullshit. Abe, you got me here. That was bullshit. The Houston Astros, how they jobbed the Dodgers.
Was it Yu Darvish got the butt into that one?
Oh yeah, he got really screwed.
Yeah, he was. He was
got,
crying.
and they had all the tells for him too.
Yeah.
At the end, they studied him, and he was telling, and then they also I think they took out Kershaw.
Yeah.
Or they brought it. They brought him in early.
Yeah, they brought him in at the wrong time, I think.
They crushed him anyway.
Yeah.
No, what it was they took out somebody else that was rolling. They had a pitcher in who was getting everybody out, and they just the manager got nervous. He gave up one hit and he got nervous and he yanked him. And
that was the last one. That was the last. Yeah, like the World Series that they just won. Yeah, that was
okay.
They took out the pitcher. They took out the pitcher.
Yeah, this is
early.
the 2017 World Series we're talking about.
Well, it probably happened then too.
Yeah. Well, the criminals, them and the Boston Red Sox, they cheated too.
Well, you remember that after that Astros game, that series, they were actually even looking at the baseballs because they were trying to figure out how the the baseballs had hit all these home runs in that series,
mm-hmm.
and they were looking at the baseballs.
Yeah,
because it was just unheard of.
Sounds like conspiracy
all the
theories.
home runs that they were hitting.
Well, it was, but again, they didn't think to look at the Astros cheating. No, nobody could cheat, so we'll look at the baseballs. Yeah, we'll see if something was cooked in them instead. No, they were cheating. Cheating bastards. Houston assholes.
Well, the Dodgers got their title, so you can at least take
and a COVID title. There's an asterisk next to that. Yeah, 62-game season.
It'll count as a regular. People consider that a World Series win.
I don't consider that I don't consider that World Series win, just like I don't consider the Houston Astros a World Series win either. So.
Oh well.
It's like Joe Biden's not my president.
Yeah,
Biden's not my president either.
You have to go through life in some degree of denial.
Just kidding.
That's what happens when we're born. We're constantly denying the fact that we're not going to be here. We're not going to be here forever.
Oh, this is an interesting theory.
Getting into philosophy.
Deep into the woods here. Deep into the weeds now. Yeah. What's this? We're denying our death here by living?
Well, it's just we're where we know we're going to die at some point, so we put that into the deep dark recesses of our brains for the most part.
Well, were you reading the Sheltering Sky by Pierre Boulle recently or something?
No.
That's what the whole book and movie's about, but okay.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, maybe you can. Is it a movie?
Yeah, The Sheltering Sky. You ever heard of that? John Malkovich was in it. Deborah Winger.
I never saw it. I should see that. I like John Malkovich a lot.
Mm-hmm. But not that way.
I have to see the movie. I don't know.
Hello?
So your boy Woody Allen was in the news this week. Did you hear about that?
I didn't read all the details, but I hear that something bad has come out about him. Something
I'm
worse.
a neurotic nerd who likes to sleep with little girls.
That's basically the story right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they did
that's
they
nothing
did, they did a whole new film on it now, and apparently, yeah, I haven't seen the film, but the news wasn't good for him.
I mean, did he do anything that was criminal? Should be worried about his freedom?
That's a good question. Gentlemen, is there anybody? Anyone have any? Are they going to arrest Woody Allen, or should he be arrested? Or
it could be a matter of state law, and we're not.
Is there a matter of time before he gets arrested? Trey, do you follow the Woody Allen story at all?
This is my first time hearing about this, but I'm not surprised because there's a lot of that going on in Hollywood right now, and there should be some more arrests coming.
It's a little bit dated, his stuff. Like, I don't know how many of his movies have you seen?
Yeah,
good question.
Probably half.
These younger guys, they probably don't know what we're talking about when we're talking about Woody Allen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because Woody Allen, his best time was in the 70s.
Brian knows it. Brian
knows Woody Allen.
I mean,
no, yeah. And that's like about a half a dozen great comedy films in the 60s and 70s.
Well, yeah.
What I know, where I watched most, although I did watch Manhattan.
Did you see Crimes and Misdemeanors was a great movie? And we played
Martin
some of
Landau.
that. Yeah, Martin Landau. And, I mean, he's got a lot of talent, but...
he made some very thoughtful movies, but what's the one with Meryl Hemingway?
Manhattan?
Was it Manhattan?
I think that's Manhattan.
Yeah, so she's underage there.
Yeah,
so that's where I started to get creepy.
Manhattan.
That's where he started losing me there. So it's like, it was great, cinematography, great movie and everything, but it's like, hey...
How old was she in that movie?
I think she was portraying a 15-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. 16. She was borderline. For a man his age.
Sounds very Lolita-ish.
Yeah, very.
Stanley Kubrick did that one.
Uh-huh.
Woody Allen has no responsibility for that classic.
Well, he remade it several times, and then Mia Farrow. Yeah, I mean, of all people. So imagine you go from the chairman of the board, getting dick from the chairman of the board to Woody Allen. I mean, what sin was she punishing herself for to do that?
Well, he can be very charming in his nerdy way. That's all.
I'm a neurotic nerd who likes to sleep with little
At least he likes
girls.
to portray himself that way.
Well, she was a little girl, I guess.
Sure. I love this. I love that Woody Allen scene, though. Trey, I'd recommend you watch Annie Hall. There's a lot of good stuff in that one.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one.
There's a great scene where he's having sex with Diane Keaton, and he's having sex with her, and then they show her body show her spirit break from her body, so she's standing above the bed.
She's like above the.
And he says something like, "I don't like this. I feel like you're not really here," and she's sitting there looking at them having sex, and she's very bored.
Yeah, detached.
And she starts saying, "Oh, I want to get some grass. Can I get some grass?" And he says, "Why do you have to do that? You're always using that as a crutch before you have sex with me."
He should be lucky he's getting it at all. Jeez. I'd recommend Bananas.
Yeah, had a birthday today.
Oh, birthdays. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Brian
Alan
does
Trammell.
birthdays. So you put Sam Rice on my page. I saw that.
Sam Rice yesterday. Oh yeah, there was. And you mentioned that catch.
I think that's what people think about first when they think about Sam Rice, was that whether he caught that ball. This was in the World Series, and he disappeared into the stands jumping after a fly ball, and he came out with the ball in his glove, and everybody was arguing about whether he really caught it. They ruled it a catch, and the Senators beat the Pirates in the World Series, right? Did I get that right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And so I don't know what he actually said on his deathbed, but people were always for their ever more trying to.
I believe he said that he did catch the ball.
Yeah. Thank God.
But that's easy for him to say.
I mean, I'd rather have him say that than say that, no, I didn't catch it, because then, there's not really anything you can do after the fact.
But there wasn't anything they could do about it, yeah. He could have said, nah, I didn't do it.
Yeah. So he had 2,987 wins, hits. Don't you think he should have stuck around for like another 10 years?
There's an interesting story about that, too, because he said that he wasn't even aware of how many hits he really had. He just didn't really care.
Mm-hmm.
And he did, the owner came back to him a couple of years later saying, hey, you want to come back and maybe try to get those 13 hits? And he said, nah, I'm too tired. It's too hard. So he declined. But he got in the Hall anyway.
Yeah, he got in anyway, thank God. Because I don't like it when they create these numbers that you have to hit to get to the Hall of Fame. I think every case has to be looked at independently and to some extent, and there shouldn't be like a litmus test in statistics to govern that.
Yeah, it's if you're close to a magic number, that should be good enough. There were some other things on him. What did he do?
How about Kurt
Schilling? I pointed out he only struck out 275 times in his entire career.
Yeah, that's really, the other guy that was hard to strike out was Joe DiMaggio. Did Joe DiMaggio strike out? He probably struck out fewer.
He was about 300 and something. But remember, he hit a lot more homers.
Yeah. For a power hitter, that's even more impressive.
Didn't Pete Rose?
I was looking at Rice's statistics, and he was regularly getting 600-700 plate appearances. And some seasons he struck out 9, 11, 12 times the whole year.
He must have had.
He said, "Well, Joe DiMaggio's going to I'll put me down." And I spent 22 days with Joe, and we were down where the war was going on. We're watching this war go on, and Joe wants to take a shower. I said, "Joe, we're not downtown Saigon." He said, "I don't give a damn. I'm Joe DiMaggio. We got to take a shower. I'm going to take a shower." And the only way you could take a shower is they had this big bamboo thing, and there's a string here, and someone's got to get on a chair and feed the water and pull the string, and the water comes through. And I was the guy that did that for Joe DiMaggio. So I saw everything Marilyn saw.
And you told all your friends about it?
I told every one of my friends. I said the best way to describe Joe DiMaggio is a penis with a man hanging from it.
Okay, so now you got the scoop on Joe DiMaggio, Joe D.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Joe D was.
Well, Maryland must have been
He was endowed with a high batting average and something else.
He could swing all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now go to the other end of the spectrum. You can play a George Costanza clip.
Oh, this is funny.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Kramer, don't start.
No. You're wasting your life.
I am not. What you call wasting, I call living. I'm living my life.
Well, okay, like what? No, tell me. Do you have a job?
No.
You got money?
No.
Do you have a woman?
No.
Do you have any prospects?
No.
You got anything on the horizon?
No.
You have any action at all?
No.
Do you have any conceivable reason for even getting up in the morning?
I like to get the daily news.
George, it's time for us to grow up and be men. Not little boys.
Watch, George. Yeah. You know, my boyfriend has the same one.
This is when he's on a date.
Really? Yeah, he loves watches. He's a real watch freak.
Well, how about that?
Oh, look out. We stepped right in it.
Yes, they sure did.
I've done that.
So you just pretended it didn't bother you?
What is that, boyfriend? I don't understand that. What does she think I asked her out for?
Well, it's the way they just slip it in there, too.
Yeah, like it's all just part of the conversation. Oh, my boyfriend really likes watches. He's a real watch freak. Well, that's fabulous. Hey, did you talk to Paul?
Yeah?
So what'd she say?
She likes you.
She said she liked me? You're kidding. She said that?
Yep.
Those were her exact words. I like George.
Yep.
How do you like that? Jerry, how do you like that? You see,
so happy.
I get myself into a tizzy.
tilt.
I'm all worked up, and for what?
For nothing. In fact, she said looks weren't even that important to her.
You see, what?
Oh.
She said looks aren't that important to her?
Let me rephrase that. She
thinks I'm ugly. I know it.
Well, see, the thing of it is, you know, there's a lot of ugly people out there walking around, but they don't know they're ugly because nobody actually tells them.
So what's your point?
I don't know.
Okay. The point, George, is she likes you.
Oh, so what? I'd rather she hate me and thought I was good looking. Then at least I could.
Yeah. Well, I found one more thing here to play at the end of the show here.
And then I fuck him in the ass with my 10-inch.
No, not that
We're
one.
gonna talk about a fucking dog dying.
This is a kid's show. Cut it out.
That's not what I meant. Where'd it go?
Mm.
Sorry. That's not what I was looking
those
for.
were the wild days with Mark and Frank. What is this?
I'm trying to find Frank and Barstool.
Oh, well.
It's disappearing here.
We're coming up on the end of the show here.
Oh, I want to throw it. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I shook this guy's hand that
all right,
was
Frank,
in
thanks
Bob
for
Marley's
calling in.
band. Frank, wait, I got a story for you, Frank. So I met this guy. He was his cousin, is Isaac Hayes.
Hold on a second,
He
Ralph.
was in Bob Marley's band. I know you're busy. You got a lot of appointments. Do shoes. I know, Frank. You're booked for the day. How many shoes you got to do today, Frank?
Oh, I'll see you next week, Mark. You didn't get to the point.
If I was gonna break your balls, I'd tell you to go home and get your shine box.
Oh, the point is you got to go shine some shoes.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
I'm not going to get to my game now because they are incompetent.
You know, it's not my fault Barstool put that shit on YouTube. I fucking didn't want to.
I've done more for the Mets than Bobby Bonilla has done the last 16 years.
What happened? They fucking go into the boss's office at Barstool, and they go, hey, that big fat guy is up there asleep here. And fucking go out and Frank Noren away. Yeah, Frank, you're so funny. Yeah, I like the Mets and the Dolphins. Who gives a shit? I'm not agreeing with Frank, by the way. They were making fun of him. I was getting so mad. I was going to go clear out Boston.
And one day he's gonna kill
That's my whipping boy.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Fuck you guys at Barstool. I'll come over there.
Everything works
They're
out
hitting
for
160 off
I mean,
them,
you have the
85
sunshine every
strikeouts.
day. I have the rain every day. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Don't fuck around with Frank.
The goddamn
in the
Dolphins
NFL.
offensive line.
Nobody's
Oh, you know they are. They're diddling him every day over there,
His
and
first
you should
time
be
was
in there
in
getting that action. Yeah.
I'll go in there and be. No, I don't want to be on Barstool. I'll fuck them all up.
No, exactly. Frank, he's our boy, and they're over there.
You'll
go in there.
You'll
go in there
like,
fruit. You'll go in there like
pukes. They're all like fucking little. Yeah, they're like little skinny runts.
You'll have your bat in your hand.
They never played any sport.
You'll
I don't need a bat for these squares. I'll go in there and smash them. I'll smash them like I was mashing potatoes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They're goofing on our boy, man. They can't do that.
Frank could probably sit on one of them and kill him for sure.
You're about as irrelevant as a fart in the wind.
Oh yeah. No, they ain't goofing on our boy. They're just they're pimping him.
Giant black dildo.
Pimping him hard.
Well, we can always keep
when he did that.
we can always keep Frank on in absentia.
Hey, Chad Dog, you want to hear an interesting stat?
We've got the ability to keep piping him in.
Frank, go ahead, go run away and hide.
Oh, I always booed A-Rod.
We're the pimp, and they seem to tolerate his singing, which is something
12 more seconds.
Which is fine because hey, if he's gonna get an outlet for singing, it ain't gonna be on this show.
No, you can't sing on this show. I don't even know why we let him talk.
Oh, that was classic.
That was the Barstool
Thank
remix.
You so much. All right, well, that did you guys enjoy that? To bring you up to speed on Frank Fleming.
The great Frank Fleming.
Who's now with Barstool Sports.
Full-time
That's
sports
amazing.
professional.
It's just
Celebrity extraordinaire.
The world is his oyster at this point.
He worked hard to get there.
He can be as big as he wants.
Yeah. And we got Abe Miranda, the next Frank Fleming. And
Abe, thank you for calling in. We'd like to have you back on.
yeah, please, if you can come in
having you on.
next week, we'd love to have you back.
Trey, did you have a good time? I didn't mess your name up this show, did I?
We were rehearsing earlier.
Yeah. Anything you want to say in passing in as we close here, Trey?
No, I gave out the famous soccer game. It should be taken off in about 45 minutes, so
okay.
You can enjoy that nice winner.
Again, it's the over. You're going with the over in what game?
The over in the France League, PSG versus Monaco.
Oh, okay. A lot of loose goalie playing in that one. Okay, Thank you, Trey. And I hope you call in next Sunday for the new pick of the week, the new pick of the litter, as they say in soccer. And then Brian from Sports Rock, Brian Keller. Thank you for calling in.
And Anarchy Rocks too. Don't forget.
Let's see some posts next week about anarchists. Okay, you can put something on about Leon Salzog.
Hey, pronounced it right now.
I don't know if I got it right, but I was close.
Pretty
right?
close.
And
Cholo. Yeah, he was tried and executed within 7 weeks. They didn't waste no time back then.
No. How did they do it? With a hanging?
They hang him.
Electric chair.
Ooh, electric chair. They had. I guess Edison invented.
Welcome
the
to the 20th century.
Maybe Edison invented the electric chair.
Probably
too.
Tesla, actually.
I'm taking it wasn't in Texas.
Yeah.
And speaking of assassins, do you know who assassinated Garfield? Anybody?
Bueller.
His name was Charles.
Who?
Charles Guiteau.
Oh,
Guido.
He was a guy that had a civil servant's He was pissed off that he got fired from his government job, so he thought he lost his government job to patronage and political double dealing. So he took it out on Garfield in the train.
Disgruntled employee
in the train station in Baltimore. By the way, interesting. That was in a train station. So you can put that on your Sports Rock next week if you want, and we'll be talking to you then. That'll be the last show of February, guys. So
yeah, join us for the last show of February next Sunday, the 28th.
So what are we going out with? What song?
We'll go with the Who, Boris the Spider.
Oh, the spider song. This is for Daniil Medvedev, who looks like a spider. He got crushed. Gumby stomped on him.
Oh well, till next week, everyone.
He's crawling up my wall, black and hairy, very small. Now he's up above my head, hanging by a little thread. Boris the spider. Boris the spider. Now he's dropped onto the floor, heading for the bedroom door. Maybe he's as scared as me. Where's he gone now? I can't see. Boris the spider. Boris the spider. Trapped in the ball, doesn't seem to move at all. Perhaps he's dead, I'll just make sure. Pick this book up off the floor. Boris the spider. Boris the spider. Sticky end. Don't think he will ever mend. Never more will he crawl round. He's in bed dead in the ground.